The sound slices through the dark, a digital shriek, tearing you from the warm, comfortable abyss of sleep. It's 5 a.m. This is the moment. The first battle of the day, fought not on a field of mud and blood, but here, in the silence of your own room, in the thick fog of your own mind. Your hand, a clumsy extension of a half-conscious will, moves through the air. It hovers, for a split second, over a single illuminated button. A button that offers a truce. A button that promises a retreat. Snooze. And with a single, pathetic press, you have just lost the war before the first shot was even fired. You have just traded a lifetime of potential strength for 9 more minutes of guaranteed weakness. That single action, so small it feels insignificant, is the cornerstone upon which you will build your failure for the rest of the day. It is the first crack in the foundation of your discipline. You told yourself you would wake up at 5. You made a contract with your future self. But at the moment of execution, you chose to renegotiate. You chose to listen to the whining, pleading voice of comfort over the silent, stoic call of duty. This is the choice of the 99%. It is the defining characteristic of the men who are governed by their fleeting feelings, not their sworn commitments. The men who allow their morning mood to dictate their trajectory. They believe they are stealing a few more moments of rest. But what they are truly doing is teaching themselves at a deep, neurological level that their own word is meaningless. Now, imagine a different room. The same darkness, the same digital shriek at 5 a.m. The 1% hear the same sound, but for them, it is not an invitation to a negotiation. It is not a suggestion. It is a command. It is the starting pistol for the race they intend to win. There is no hesitation. There is no internal debate between the angel of discipline and the demon of comfort. Before the conscious mind has a chance to lodge a protest, before the body can complain about the cold, their feet are on the floor. The action is mechanical, immediate, and absolute. It's not born from a surge of motivation. Motivation is a fickle and unreliable ally. This action is born from identity. It is the physical manifestation of a decision made long ago. The decision to be a man who does what he says he will do. This is the great divide. It is the fundamental point of separation between the man who is a slave and the man who is a sovereign. The slave is shackled by his own impulses. He is a prisoner to his desire for warmth, for ease, for just a little more time. His day is a series of reactions to his internal state. He feels tired, so he rests. He feels uninspired, so he procrastinates. He feels discomfort, so he retreats. The sovereign, however, is the ruler of his own internal kingdom. He understands that his feelings are merely weather patterns passing through his mind, unpredictable and irrelevant to the mission. His actions are not dictated by the forecast of his emotions, but by the map of his purpose. The first act of his reign, every single morning, is to conquer the rebellion of his own weakness. And it all begins in that first second, when the alarm sounds and a choice must be made. The choice to surrender, or the choice to rise. You tell yourself it's about rest. You rationalize the decision with a soothing internal monologue. I'll be more productive if I just get a few more minutes. My body needs it. It's a form of self-care. These are the lies of a mind justifying surrender. This is the trap. It's an illusion so perfectly crafted, so deeply comforting, that you willingly walk into it every single morning. You believe you are making a strategic choice to optimize your energy for the day ahead, but what you are actually doing is far more sinister. You are programming your own neurology for failure. You are teaching your subconscious mind a devastating lesson, that your commands are optional. Think about it. The moment the alarm sounds, your conscious, disciplined mind issues a direct order: get up. But then, a weaker, more primal part of you, the part that craves comfort and fears the cold, lodges a protest. By hitting snooze, you are siding with the traitor. You're telling your entire nervous system that the voice of discipline can be overruled by the whisper of comfort. You are conditioning yourself to believe that your commitments are flexible, that your resolutions are merely suggestions, and that your own word to yourself is fundamentally worthless. This single act sends a ripple of weakness through your entire being, setting the tone for every decision you will make for the next 16 hours. It's a quiet betrayal, a small act of treason against your own potential. This ritual of self-sabotage doesn't end with the snooze button. It continues with the routine you've built around it. The gentle stretching in the warmth of your bed. The slow shuffle to the kitchen for a warm cup of coffee. The mindless scrolling through social media notifications, seeking a dopamine hit before you've earned it. You call this a quote for, but it is not a routine for building strength. It is a ceremony for consecrating weakness. You are not building mental armor for the day's battles. You are wrapping yourself in a warm, soft blanket of mediocrity. And while you are swaddled in this false sense of security, the world is being conquered by men who choose to embrace the cold. Men who understand that true power is forged not in comfort, but in the deliberate and voluntary confrontation with discomfort. The science is as unforgiving as the philosophy. That extra 9 minutes of sleep is not restorative. It's a neurological poison. By drifting back into a light, fragmented sleep, you are inducing a state known as sleep inertia. You are disrupting your body's natural waking cycle, ensuring that when you finally do drag yourself out of bed, you are groggier, less alert, and more cognitively impaired than if you had risen immediately. The very rest you are chasing is a mirage. You are trading a moment of discipline for hours of brain fog. The illusion is that you are gaining energy. The reality is that you are injecting lethargy directly into your bloodstream. You are choosing to begin your day in a state of compromised mental and physical readiness, all for the fleeting pleasure of avoiding the initial shock of waking. This is the anatomy of the trap. It promises a reward, but delivers a punishment disguised as comfort. This desire for comfort is not a modern invention. It is an ancient enemy. And the battle plan to defeat it was written down nearly 2,000 years ago, not in a comfortable study, but in a frozen tent on the brutal northern frontier of the Roman Empire. The man writing it was not a self-help guru. He was Marcus Aurelius, the most powerful man on earth, the absolute ruler of a civilization, commanding legions against barbarian hordes in the harshest of conditions. And in the pre-dawn cold, by the light of a flickering oil lamp, he was fighting the exact same battle you fight every morning, and he was writing the orders for you to win it. In his private journal, he gave himself this command. Listen closely, because this is not a suggestion. It is a law from a warrior king. He wrote, "At dawn, when you have trouble getting out of bed, tell yourself, I have to go to work. As a human being, what do I have to complain of if I'm going to do what I was born for? The very things for which I was brought into this world? Or is this what I was created for? To huddle under the blankets and stay warm?" Let those words sink in. This isn't a philosopher's musing. It's an emperor's self-rebuke. He is reminding himself of his fundamental nature, to go to work as a human being, What does that mean? A dog's nature is to seek comfort and follow instinct. A reptile's nature is to seek the warmth of the sun. But a human being's nature, our unique, defining characteristic, is the capacity for reason, for will, for discipline. It is the ability to choose duty over desire, to choose purpose over comfort. When you choose to stay under the blankets, you are not acting as a human. You are choosing to be a lesser creature, governed by the most primitive parts of your brain that crave only warmth and safety. This is the Stoic law of authority. The authority you crave in your life, authority over your finances, your career, your relationships. It is a mirror of the authority you establish over yourself. And that authority is forged or broken in the first decision of the day. Every time you hit snooze, you are holding a vote within your own mind, and you are allowing the weakest, most cowardly part of you to win. You are telling your inner sovereign, your higher self, that its commands are meaningless, that its decrees can be vetoed by a fleeting feeling of tiredness. How can you expect to lead others, to command respect, to build an empire of your own, if you cannot even command your own body to leave a bed? The universe does not owe you comfort. Your purpose in this life is not to feel good. It is to do good, to be good, to execute your function. Marcus Aurelius understood this. His function was to rule, to protect Rome, to lead his men. Your function is to be the best father, the best creator, the best leader, the best version of yourself that you can possibly be. That function cannot be fulfilled from a horizontal position wrapped in cotton. It requires you to be upright. It requires you to be in motion. It requires you to face the cold. The warmth of the bed is the siren song of mediocrity. It promises a gentle, easy life, but it delivers a slow, creeping death of your potential. The first enemy to conquer, every single day, is the weakness within your own mind that whispers for you to stay. By rising immediately, you are not just starting your day, you are making a declaration. You are declaring that you are in command, that your will is law, and that you were born for the battlefield, not the blanket. So this is not just a list of rules. It is the tactical briefing for the most important battle you will ever fight, the one that takes place between your ears every single morning. This is your new operational protocol. These 7 truths are not life hacks or motivational tips. They are non-negotiable laws, the very architecture of mental armor. First, the alarm is a command, not a suggestion. When that sound pierces the silence, it is not an invitation to a debate. It is the voice of your higher self, your future self, issuing a direct order. There is no other option. Action is the only valid response. The moment you begin to negotiate, to think, just 5 more minutes, you have already lost. The weak mind sees the alarm as a negotiation. The disciplined mind understands it as a trigger, a sound that initiates a predetermined automatic sequence of movements. Your feet hit the floor. You rise. The command has been received and executed. There is no room for interpretation. Second, your feelings are enemy propaganda. In those first moments of consciousness, your mind will be flooded with lies. The desire for warmth, the craving for comfort, the seductive whisper that you deserve more rest. This is not you. This is the voice of weakness, a traitorous thought broadcast by the primitive part of your brain that seeks only to conserve energy and avoid stress. It is enemy propaganda, designed to keep you small and safe and mediocre. Logic and discipline are your only guides. You must learn to observe these feelings as you would observe clouds in the sky. transient, meaningless, and utterly separate from your mission. Your actions are not, and will never be, contingent on how you feel. Third, the first minute is the entire war. The entire outcome of your day, perhaps your life, is decided in the first 60 seconds after the alarm. In this brief window, you will perform a sacred ritual of victory. You will stand. You will drink a full glass of water, hydrating your body and brain for the battle ahead. And you will get dressed in the clothes you laid out the night before. There is no phone. There is no checking notifications. There is no thought. Only pure, mechanical execution. In this first minute, you are not a person with feelings and desires. You are a machine executing its primary function. You are systematically killing the weak man, the hesitant man, the man who lived in your body yesterday. He dies in this first minute so that you may be born. Fourth, manufacture discomfort. Immediately, comfort is the enemy of growth. Your objective is not to feel good, it is to become resilient. Therefore, you will deliberately introduce a stressor. A blast of cold water in the shower. A set of push-ups or burpees until your muscles burn. You must teach your body, on a cellular level, that you are the one in command. Steel is not forged in a warm blanket, it is forged in fire and ice. By embracing voluntary hardship, you are inoculating yourself against the involuntary hardships the world will throw at you. You are not seeking pleasure. You are forging a weapon. Fifth, your mind is a fortress. Do not let weak thoughts through the gates. As your consciousness comes fully online, you must seize control of the narrative. Your first conscious, deliberate thought of the day will not be of your fatigue or your obligations. It will be of your duty, your mission. The only question you will permit yourself to ask is, what must be done? Frame your day around action, not feeling. The fortress of your mind must be guarded, especially at dawn and dusk, when its defenses are at their lowest. You are the sovereign of this internal kingdom. Rule it with an iron will. Sixth, the snooze button is an instrument of self-betrayal. This device must be treated as the enemy it is. It is a physical manifestation of your willingness to break a promise to yourself. Using it is an act of treason against your own potential. Therefore, you will make its use impossible. You will eliminate it. Physically remove your alarm clock or phone from arm's reach. Place it across the room, forcing you to stand up and move to silence it. You are redesigning your environment to make surrender impossible. You are building a system where victory is the only path. And finally, the seventh truth. You owe the world action, not feelings. The universe does not care if you are tired. Your goals do not care if you feel unmotivated. The world that you wish to conquer does not care if you are comfortable. Your feelings are your own private concern. Your actions are your debt to reality. You were born to act, to build, to strive, to overcome. Fulfill your function. That is all that is asked and all that matters. The time for theory is over. The time for observation has passed. You have been given the intelligence, the operational protocol, the 7 truths that separate the weak from the sovereign. This knowledge is not a curiosity to be stored away in the archives of your mind. It is a weapon, and it is now in your hands. Your trial period, the life you lived before this moment, has ended. This protocol is effective immediately, not next week, not on Monday, not when you feel _quote, _8, _. The feeling of readiness is a myth propagated by the weak to justify their inaction. You will act now, and readiness will be forged in the fire of that action. Tomorrow morning, when that alarm sounds, you will execute. There is no other timeline. This is not a negotiation with your future self. It is a command issued to the man you will become in the next 8 hours. The person who listened to the beginning of this transmission is already gone. He was the one who hesitated, the one who weighed comfort against duty. He no longer exists. You are his replacement. To seal this command into the deepest layers of your subconscious mind, to make it an undeniable part of your new identity, you will take a specific physical action right now. This is not for me. This is for you. It is the first test of your new protocol, the ability to follow a command without hesitation. You will move to the comments section of this transmission. That space is not a forum for idle chatter. It is a muster point. It is a digital ledger where men declare their allegiance not to a flag or a creed, but to their own highest potential. You will write a declaration, a simple phrase that serves as a contract between the man you are now and the man you are sworn to become. The affirmation is this: I am not governed by comfort. Type those words. Feel the weight of them. This is not just a comment. It is an act of psychological warfare against your own weakness. With every letter you press, you are carving a new neural pathway. You are telling the universe, and more importantly, the deepest, most primitive parts of your own brain, that the old ruler, the one who craved warmth and ease, has been deposed. A new authority is in charge now, an authority governed by purpose, by discipline, by the relentless pursuit of your mission. When you post it, you make it real. You create a public record of your commitment, a digital anchor that will hold you steady when the siren song of the warm blankets calls to you in the dark. But your duty does not end with your own liberation. The 1% do not rise alone. They build legions. A fortress with a single soldier is a tomb. A king without a kingdom is a man in a costume. Your strength is multiplied when it is shared. Your next action, after you have made your declaration, is to become a recruiter. Think of one other man in your life who is losing this same war every morning. One man who is trapped in the cycle of self-sabotage, who negotiates with his alarm clock, who chooses 9 more minutes of sleep over a lifetime of achievement. You know who he is. Now, you will send this transmission to him. This is not about sharing a video. It is an act of intervention. It is a rescue mission. You are extending a hand to pull another soldier out of the mud. You are telling him that the war is not lost and that you will fight alongside him. The world is changed not by one man's silent victory, but by a network of disciplined men who hold each other to a higher standard. This is your final command. Make your declaration. Recruit another soldier, and prepare for the dawn. Your new life begins when that alarm sounds. Now, go. Execute.